Marianah Lourens met Kuns en Vermaak. Yes, Marianah Lourens with art and entertainment here in the green room once again. Yes, I've got 4 amazing people, 4 young people and 1 almost young. She says she's also a granny, but she's younger than me. 7 grandchildren. Okay. 2 of them, Ruhaan and Raifa, we've had before. They have been involved in the short films. Raifa actually in a not so short, but a slightly longer film, but they also call it a short film. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Ruhaan Booysen and Raifa Cunningham, Vera, Jewell, and then KJ. And I don't know if KJ's got another surname at all. But he just wants to be known as KJ. I'm going to start here with you, Vera, because you are also a granny. Yes, like me. You have been in the film Wat die Hart Soek.
Yeah.
I actually saw it on Facebook, but because I know Ruhaan, he put us in touch with each other.
Wow.
It's quite amazing that the short films are happening. And is it Raymond Matisa? Yeah, I know him also very well from other films that we've both been involved in. So tell us, how did it happen that you got there to be in the film?
I'm in the film with Raymond since last year. He just chose Raifa and myself to be in this one. And because of my experience in gender-based violence and abusive marriage, it wasn't a difficult task for me to do that.
So because you're an overcomer?
Yes, I am. Definitely. More than overcomer, actually.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes. And I see Anderson Fabian's name here, and I know him as well. Because in this time where there's such a fight for women, it's very appropriate film. And your character in the film?
I am Fabian's mother, Raifa's mother-in-law.
Okay.
And I'm the one who opened up about my own experience being abused in my marriage. And in that way, she also
related.
Yes.
So it's very much the experience about this. And as you say, you're more than an overcomer. Yes. And Raifa, you've been in a number of short films and so forth. I just also put a little heart around something here in Kosanati Foundation because it's breaking the barriers of blindness. And that's, of course, the partially sighted school where you work. But yes, actress and the She Said No movie. I remember that so very well.
It's all through Ruhaan. He exposed me and people approached me. If it wasn't through him, I wasn't going to be where I am today. And the grace of God, obviously. Ruhaan exposed me and people approached me. That made me who I am today.
And I remember when that happened, that movie that She Said No, it was quite a big thing and people spoke about it a lot. Because it's also
linked to gender-based violence.
Yes. I mean, if she says no, she means no.
No is no.
Exactly. But now, of course, you're in some more short films and some short films.
Yes. Wat die Hart Soek was also part of life experience. She Said No is similar to Wat die Hart Soek. And it's basically sending out a message to ladies out there that there is a way out. There is definitely a way out. You don't need to be stuck. You don't need to sit where you are. You need to get up and tell yourself you are worth something. And live your life, because I'm living my life after being through the worst and didn't even think that I would end up where I am. And today I am an actress, proud to be an actress, living out my story. Not reliving the story, but living out my story. Educating ladies out there, showing them that there is life after the life that you thought that was going to end. But unfortunately, we are women. We are made for this thing. We might tremble and fall, but we are bound to get up because we are women. We are specially made.
We can't, a new story.
We can't stop. We need to go. Because there's a whole bunch of people behind us that needs us. So we need to push.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we go to you, KJ. Yes. I was very interested in the name, KJ. It's K-E-E and J-A-Y, as you say.
Yes.
And you wrote to me, you are the illest singer in Port Elizabeth, and I just deducted that that's the opposite of what he's saying.
Yes.
Actually, the hottest one.
The hottest singer, yeah.
Well, you know, when you're ill, you get a temperature, you get very hot.
It's the truth, yeah.
So he's hot stuff.
It's hot stuff, yeah.
And
yes.
TJ Music is what you under.
And on TikTok, on YouTube, and IG, all of the social media platforms, you can get me under TJ Music.
So now tell us, because I don't know how Ruhaan found you, or are you also involved in the short films? Are you involved in the stories?
I'm a hip-hop and R&B artist. I make music, Afrikaans music in particular. I'm building a name for myself, and I made Ruhaan, get in contact with him. I tell him I want to be part of what he's doing. I used to act in church, verhalen and soos hy. And then we made a film together recently, Stepdaddy, Baby Daddy.
Baby Daddy was one of them, yeah.
And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I'm looking forward to more collaborations.
Because Baby Daddy, of course, is another one. It affects women so much.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Baby Daddy is nowhere to be found.
They go buy soap.
But when it's open, you see all of them. The mommy and the baby to go and draw the money.
Yes.
Yeah. They just staying and wait at the ATM.
Yes.
And Ruhaan, we've spoken before, as I said, because when I first discovered you was a couple of years ago, I think, when you started with the Kleinskool.
The Kleinskool.
The Kleinskool.
That movie was made in 2015, so it's just a long time already.
But I only noticed it, I think, 2-3 years ago, something like that. The whole thing that caught my attention there, the Kleinskool. I'm very sentimental about Kleinskool because I had very dear friends who started a ministry there, Boet and Annetjie Walker. I don't know if you ever heard their names, but now if you see Harvest, they've kind of taken over that ministry.
I know Harvest, yeah.
And they've grown hugely. We used to go there. So Kleinskool is a very sentimental for me. And then when I saw the message, you can just tell us again, how did it happen? Because you call yourself a video creator, photography, and of course the short films. There are many more. They've mentioned Baby Daddy, Disrespectful Daughter. I saw Spoiled Brat.
There's a lot. My film industry once again started 2013 when I made my first movie. Ever since I felt in love creating short films in my storylines, changing people's lives through my storylines. The person came from, I always had a dream. For example, becoming police, a doctor, all the way, for example. All three jobs is in the same category as helping people.
Caring.
So, after a while, I thought, okay, no, this is what I want to do. Instead of changing people's life in the community, I can change people's life worldwide.
Ons gaan aan.
Ons beweeg aan, ja, as die ander keuse nie.
Yeah, and you're going to continue doing it.
As vir my meer as 'n passie, dis vir my, ek sal elke dag opstaan met 'n camera in my hand en weer elke dag as ek kan.
And what I like about your messages, you keep it clean. There's a bit of rough edges, a bit of rough stuff
around the edges.
but you don't make it sordid and ugly, but the message is clear.
As altyd 'n goeie boodskap, ek hou dit altyd simpel van, as altyd jonger kinders wat watch en so voor, so ek hou dit kort en kragtig vir die audience, van die audience kan.
Especially the young kids.
Dis waar.
I'm going to ask you, Vera. Now, you've come a long way, and you say because of the circumstances you were in, did it surprise you that you landed in film? Because what did you do growing up, after school and all that?
If I can just drop a little bit of my testimony. I left school due to the fact that I made wrong choices. I left school. My father passed away when I was 10 years old. We were 9 children and my mother had to raise all of us alone. But at some stage, although the bigger sisters and brothers were working to help my mother, I also dropped out. I never knew that my mother and my one sister were always talking about the dream they had for me. Because I didn't know. I thought I can also go and work to earn my own money, then my mother don't need to give me pocket money. But anyway, I got married and things didn't go so smoothly. I went back to work, although my husband said he don't want his wife to work. But at some point of time, I just had to go and work. While I was working and got another baby because he was fighting for babies. At some stage, I had 3 children. I was working in a factory and I lost my job due to a medical doctor frauding IOD on my name. I didn't even know about it. Anyway, while I was at home still with this case and everything that goes with it, I opened a creche at my house. And there my life changed completely. Today, I can say, as I told Raifa just now, Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, God says, I know the plans I have for you. And as things unfold in my life, I can really say that God's plan for me was excellent. And I'm just growing into what He has planned for me many moons ago, even before I was born. Because today, the bad thing happened so that the good can start. Today, I can proudly say I'm a qualified teacher and a remedial therapist. Remember I said I left school in grade 9. Those days it was standard 7. Yeah. I didn't know God's plan for me. And I never knew what my mother and my sister had in mind for me. But I wouldn't have sit here today if it wasn't for God's plan. I never thought I will be a good teacher because I'm a good teacher and I enjoy every single day. Now that I'm in this film, in the production world, when I enter school, as I come in Galvandale, wherever I go, Juffrou Jewell, Juffrou sien Juffrou in the movies. And they name all the movies, the names of the movies. You know, people even on Facebook, WhatsApp, people that I never thought of, people that I don't know. They contact me and they say, congratulations, I saw your movie, Alcoholic Mother, and it was so good. Even my church people say, Hallo, so as hulle kyk na die movie, want dit is die werklikheid wat gebeur. And today I can also just thank Ruhaan for giving me that opportunity.
The enemy is not stronger than God.
Amen.
No matter how hard he tries.
Amen.
You weren't going to study, but in the end you studied.
I never had a dream of studying.
I also went to UNISA post-school.
I didn't even study through UNISA then. I went straight to varsity. Yeah. God even opened the door for me. At NMU, you must have a certain DBA or whatever you call that thing to get entry to university. Yes. But everything it just worked. All the doors just opened.
The doors.
Yeah, it just opened.
Yes, and Raifa, of course, you also have come a long way since childhood. Let's also begin where you were little and playing and didn't think you were going to end up in movies.
Ever since I've known me, I was a little drama queen, what my granny used to call me that. Gekkie. Gekkie drama queen. I used to be a little ballerina girl. I used to do my own ballet. I could stand on my toes when I was a little girly. And I was very petite. Not the fact that acting wasn't part of me. I was an actress since I was a little girl. Because I used to act in front of my granny, used to give me clays to do my small acting moves for her. And I never thought that I would go into the direction of being an actress. But what I can say is when I went into Ruhaan's production, it changed my life because at that moment I was broken and I needed a distraction. I needed to get my mind off what I came from, and that fell into place. So ever since I came back from Cape Town, I started acting and it's been going smooth and it's been helping me. This was my type of counseling. The production was my psychologist.
Yes.
It helped.
It's therapeutic.
It helped me.
The arts.
It helped me.
Producing.
Yeah.
Being involved in all the arts.
And then it fell into place where I got the job at Umkusinati. It kept me focused from what I literally come from. Being involved in the fact that my 2 sons has chondrodystrophy, I'm more focused on their health and my well-being. So I'm occupied in both worlds. I don't have time to think of the negative. I must make positive out of the situation, and that's what I've been doing.
And you're moving forward with these 2 things.
I have been doing that. And someone asked me the other day, how did you feel making the short film Wat die Hart Soek? How did you feel knowing that that was you at some point in your life? I said I didn't even think of that. Watching it, I don't see myself in the movies. I don't see me. I see the storyline, which was very powerful. We actually wanted to work on something similar with Ruhaan, but we never got to that point whereby I wanted to tell my story.
But the whole thing is the product.
It was delivered.
It was delivered.
It was delivered, and it was perfect.
KJ, you seems to me to be the youngest around here. So you don't mind if I ask you how old you are?
I'm 22 years old this year.
22?
Yes.
So it's a baby.
No problem.
No. And tell us now, how did you get into it? Because you also had to go to school and all that.
Yeah, I matriculated in 2019. When I was in primary school, I think it was 2009. I was in a Sunday school now doing church plays. In 2014 was the most terrifying time of my life, especially when I lost my mother. After that year, in grade 9, I parked my car and I stayed another year because after the departure of my mother, I went into street life and my life took steps back from there. My future became dull. So I played rugby and I went to Joburg and I played on television. And I came back and I went into the music industry. So
you played on television?
Yeah,
Tell
I
us
played on
what,
television.
quickly.
I played, it was 2015 in Joburg. I played EP rugby. Yeah, and we actually won the tournament. So yeah.
Okay, so you were into sport?
Yes, when I was in high school. Then I came back and I was singing in youth. So I started taking my music career further and I built a name for myself until I met Ruhaan and we started collaborating. So I'm just trying to build a name for myself and become a big public figure in Port Elizabeth. That's what I'm striving for, yeah.
The illest, healthiest.
Yes.
Yeah, and you do rap mostly?
Rap, yeah. I'm a rapper, singer-songwriter.
And I can find you on KJ Music.
KJ Music, yeah. On YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, all social media platforms, you're gonna find me.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we've got now little time left, Ruhaan, but jy gee nie om nie because you make this stuff happen. But to find these short films, they're on Facebook, right?
That's oral, but most of my films is on YouTube.
But they're all on Facebook as well.
Not everything.
Not all, not everything. They just go to YouTube. What do they type in?
Ruhaan Booysen, almost social media.
Ruhaan Booysen, and that's it. And it's Ruhaan and Booysen, Booysen, as you say it.
Yes.
And they can access all the short films there.
They can find everything on YouTube. They can even stay up to date on my Facebook page.
On your Facebook page, yes, Ruhaan Booysen.
For Ruhaan Booysen, yeah. There's a lot coming in future present, so you must just follow me
on Facebook.
On Facebook.
And Vera, Jewell, you on Facebook? And
yes,
as it is Vera, Jewell, Jewell.
Yes.
You also, if you on Facebook, you guys on TikTok or something?
Yes. And Vera needs to update. I'm on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Dancing there.
And Instagram?
No, I don't do Instagram.
No.
Just TikTok is
bothered.
fine for me.
I mean, us grannies couldn't be bothered. Instagram and all that stuff. Hey? I've told somebody they must put all their stuff on Facebook because there's a whole market of grannies.
Sure.
And do you know that some grannies have deep pockets and they can support you? So don't forget about Facebook. Now there we have it. Ruhaan, keep going.
Thank you.
Never stop. God sees all. Blessings for you. And it's time for us to say goodbye. The time really flies when you're having fun. So I want to say thank you, Vera, Jewell. Thank you, Ray for Cunningham.
Pleasure.
Thank you, KJ.
Thanks for having me.
Illest. And Ruhaan Booysen, my old young friend. Thank you so much. And it's really time for us to say goodbye from Art and Entertainment. Jou Marianah Lourens, wat nou groet met Kuns en Vermaak en Arrivederci.